Before we dive in, a quick heads up. I'm recovering from a cold, so my voice may sound a little different than usual. Thanks for bearing with me while I get back to full strength. If you've ever walked through a desert oasis or browsed a market in the Middle East, you've seen them, towering date palms that seem to defy the harshness of the sun. But the story of how this tree became the tree of life for millions is a fascinating detective story involving ancient DNA, archaeological mystery, and sacred tradition. So, grab a coffee or perhaps a few dates and let's trace this journey from the Persian Gulf to the tables of the modern world.
Welcome to Season 3 of Roots Revealed. I'm Binish aka Beans, your guide to the fascinating history, culture, and science of plants. Together, we'll uncover how plants have shaped civilizations, ecosystems, and our understanding of the natural world. Let's kick off our next episode.
To understand where the date palm comes from, we have to look at its DNA, which acts like a biological passport. For a long time, researchers wondered exactly where humans first domesticated this wild tree. Modern genomic analysis has finally given us a lead. The earliest domestication signals point directly to the Persian Gulf region. But it wasn't as simple as planting a seed and watching it grow. The evolution of the date palm is a messy, beautiful history of hybridization. As humans moved these trees across North Africa and the Near East, the palms mingled with their wild relatives. We have evidence of genetic mixing. For example, researchers analyze a 2,100-year-old leaf found in Saqqara, Egypt. In their studies, they discovered that by at least 2,200 years ago, cultivated dates were already exchanging genes with wild date species. What's even more remarkable is the deep history of these lineages. Scientists estimate that the split between the closest relatives of date palm occurred in the Upper Miocene, long before humans were around to harvest the fruit. These studies show that seeds found in ancient Egyptian ruins are not random. They reveal a highly organized system of agriculture and dispersal routes that followed human migration patterns. If DNA provides the blueprint, archaeology provides the proof. In Egypt, well-preserved date seeds have been recovered from sites dating as far back as the 14th century, stretching to the 8th century. This isn't just evidence of a few stray snacks, it's a record of long-term cultivation and shifting agrobiodiversity. It tells us that Egyptians weren't simply gathering wild fruit, they were managing and selecting specific varieties for over 2,000 years. We also see the importance of the date palm reflected in art. On the Waka vase from early Mesopotamia, one of the oldest surviving works of narrative relief sculpture, a plant appears on the lowest register. Botanical analysis identifies it as a date palm sapling. This confirms that even at the dawn of civilization, the date palm was a recognizable and symbolically powerful species. It wasn't just food, it was an icon. Ecologically, the date palm functions as what scientists call a keystone species. In arid desert environments, it creates its own microclimate. It provides shade, helps preserve soil moisture, and enable other plants and animals to survive in conditions that would otherwise be too harsh. Date palm literally makes oasis life possible. It is impossible to talk about the date palm without discussing faith. This tree is woven into the spiritual fabric of the Middle East. It has been a cultural and spiritual motif in Jewish and Christian traditions for millennia, but it holds a particularly prominent place in Islamic sources. In the Quran, the date palm is mentioned more than any tree, appearing 23 times. Prophet Muhammad frequently used the date palm as an analogy for a believer, resilient, productive, and deep rooted. This spiritual connection is especially visible during Ramadan. Millions of people around the world follow the tradition of Prophet Muhammad by breaking their daily fast with a date. It's a beautiful ritual, but also a practical one. The natural sugars provide a quick energy boost and help replenish the body after a long day of fasting. In the early days of Medina, the date palm was the backbone of the community. It wasn't just the fruit that mattered, the entire tree was utilized. The trunks were used in construction, the leaves for weaving and household goods, and the fruit served as a primary dietary staple. While the palm appears repeatedly in the Torah and the Bible as well, Islamic sources provide some of the most detailed historical descriptions of how the tree functioned as both as a spiritual symbol and a practical necessity in a developing society. The palm tree holds a quiet but powerful place in everyday Palestinian life. Its symbolic weight seems far greater than its actual abundance in the landscape. Dates in particular carry deep spiritual meaning. A popular belief holds that Jesus' love and devotion to his mother came from the dates that nourished him. Newborns in Palestine are often given their first tastes of sweetness as water infused with mashed dates. Children raised on date juice are believed to develop charming and persuasive speech. In many of these practices, dates from Mecca are especially prized, reinforcing their sacred association. Palm imagery extends beyond food into decoration and ritual. Palm branches appear frequently in Muslim shrines, on house walls, and in embroidered designs from Bethlehem and Ramallah. Among some Orthodox Christian women, dates from the palm tree of Marsaba are believed to cure infertility. Even language reflects this symbolism. The common Arabic word for the glans penis, the organ of procreation, is the same word used for date fruit, tamara, subtly linking the palm to the propagation of life. Palm also accompanies death. Branches are carried before Muslim funeral processions and later placed upon graves, sometimes arranged at the four corners so their tips meet above the tomb. As long as the branches remain green, it is believed the deceased can continue praising God, partially atoning for past misdeeds. Some tombstones even bear carved palm motifs. A tradition holds that God created the palm from the same clay as Adam, giving it a shared sap of life. Like a human, the tree dies if its crown is cut. Through these layered beliefs in birth, speech, fertility, devotion, and even the afterlife, the date palm emerges not merely as a plant but as a living symbol of continuity between earth, body, and the divine. Now let's talk about the food itself. In the heart of the desert, oasis communities develop sophisticated knowledge for processing dates, knowledge that persists till today. In the Tata oasis of Morocco, traditional women's collectives produce unique date products rarely found in standard grocery stores. These include date paste known as tasaboont and tumit, typically made from specific varieties such as boutob or bustami noir. Modern researchers have studied these traditional methods to improve hygiene and storage, since the paste can harden or develop microbial contamination if not handled properly. Today, the date industry faces modern challenges. Producers must manage pests and navigate the complex transition to organic farming. Managing post-harvest quality, ensuring dates stay fresh from harvest to the consumer, is also a major economic concern for producing countries. Whether eaten whole, used in household recipes, or processed into powders and juices, dates remain an essential dietary component for many communities. While tradition has long claimed that dates are good for health, modern research is now exploring how and why that may be true. Studies show that dates are rich in bioactive compounds such as phenolics, flavonoids, and carotenoids. These compounds act as antioxidants and have anti-inflammatory effects. New research is also looking at the possible role of dates in metabolic health, heart health, and brain function. Scientists are developing date-based functional foods using extracts both from the fruit and the seeds for their potential antimicrobial and prebiotic benefits. Although research is still ongoing, it suggests that this ancient fruit may offer broader nutritional and functional value than we once thought. At the end of the day, dates are just one of those rare things that has actually stuck with us through the rise and fall of entire civilizations. It stayed relevant for 7 million years because it had to. It was the shade, the food, and the medicine that made life possible in the toughest places on earth. It's pretty incredible to think that a simple fruit can carry that much history and science in a single bite.
Thank you for tuning into Roots Revealed. Support the show by leaving a review on your favorite podcast platform and sharing episodes with friends and family. If you have any feedback or suggestions, reach out to me at hello@rootsrevealed.org. Remember to keep exploring your roots and celebrating the rich diversity of our shared history. See you next time. Bye.